Hi, my name is Jade Henderson, and I'm completing my doctoral capstone project with Kinetic Kids, and I'm implementing a heavy work warm-up across their Champions division. Carrie Valdez, adaptive sports director and occupational therapist, and I decided I should implement heavy work because I went out to all the Kinetic Kids sports and noticed that there were still a handful of kids not actively participating in gaining the benefits from adaptive sports because they were seeking a lot of sensory input. So what is heavy work? It's proprioceptive input or deep pressure input into the muscles and joints. So it's going to be a lot of pushing, pulling, carrying objects, as you will see in the videos to come. It's hard to teach a child anything until they are in a ready state for learning. Therefore, this warm-up is intended to help calm their bodies, but also get them into that ready state of learning. Now, these are some of the behaviors you may notice at the Champions division. So they may be running the wrong way down the soccer field or rolling on the ground seeking a lot of tactile input, deep pressure input. So what do you do when you see these behaviors? Well, heavy work. These 10 exercises I'm about to go over can be used as a warm-up while they're waiting in line to kick a soccer ball, or say there's a kid that won't stop crying, they could be pulled aside for some more of these activities to help regulate their sensory systems. We want these activities to provide the just right challenge, so not too hard, not too easy, so they stay engaged in their sport. The program directors are out there to help make modifications if needed. So the secret senses. These are senses that are less commonly known and discussed compared to the traditional 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. Vestibular, it's responsible for balance and movement. Proprioception helps us sense our body position. Interoception allows us to perceive and interpret internal sensations. So heavy work is to help these systems communicate better with each other and help Kinetic Kids evolve into even better athletes. So these are the 10 exercises I will be going over with pictures and videos in the next slides. So push-ups, you can modify to wall push-ups or knee push-ups if needed. So here's wall push-ups. I was helping support at his elbows, so he's pushing through the wall there. And then here I'm supporting at her hips, knee push-ups if needed. Wall sit, again, if you're at soccer and say there's a fence, you don't want to use the fence, you can have them go back to back with a volunteer. And then here's the wall sit. He just needed some tactile and verbal cueing to push his back up against the wall to receive as much tactile input as possible through the wall. And then here I'm having her push as hard as she could into my hands with her kind of waking up her legs and her arms at the same time. So here, if they have a buddy they want to do this one with, they can. He wasn't quite able to take all of the input that she was providing, so I had him move his legs apart, which is dance moves. And then he was pushing, I was supporting at the elbows, he was pushing through his hands and his legs there, kind of waking all those muscles up. You could also have them pull as well. So video stomping in place. So stomping is going to be different than marching. I want them to stomp their feet as hard as they can into the ground. They can go in a line. They can go down the basketball court, soccer field, volleyball court. Stomp as hard as they can into the ground. Wake up their muscles and joints in their legs. So yoga poses, palms together, and dead bug hold. Here, again, I was pushing through his elbows just to receive more pressure through his joints. Here is the yoga pose. She was able to stand on one leg. That requires more coordination, so if they're not able to do that, that's totally fine. I was helping support, again, at his elbows. There's a lot of support at the elbows to have him push through his hands. Here for the dead bug hold, she was squeezing her body as tight as she could, acting like a dead bug. And then again, I was providing more deep pressure input through his knees at his chest, and he's receiving from the input from the ground as well through his head and his back. Wheelbarrow walks or bear crawl. Wheelbarrow walks are going to be for a little bit more advanced kids. There's going to be some kids that are able to do it, and then some that need assistance for the bear crawls at their hips. And then here is a video of the wheelbarrow walk. She was able to go little ways. And then this video shows wheelbarrow walk. He wasn't quite able to do it, and that's okay. I didn't give up on him. We modified to a bear crawl, so I gave him a visual cue for a bear crawl. And this requires a decent amount of coordination. So he needed just some extra tactile cueing, verbal cueing. And then again, I was taking some of the weight off by providing support at the hips. but also kind of compression at the hips as well. So then galloping and skipping. So skipping is going to be more advanced as it requires more coordination. Here we're galloping, feet together, feet together. You go down the soccer field, basketball court. Spinning. So I had them spin 3 times and then give themselves a big bear hug. And then there's going to be some of those kiddos again that just are seeking that extra deep pressure input. And then I had them spin 3 ways the other direction. And again, big bear hug. Bunny hops, frog jumps, and crab walks. So these are our pictures. This one was kind of a modified crab walk, as I will show in the next video. So here's the normal crab walk, which requires a decent amount of coordination. And then here's kind of a modified crab walk, or I guess crab walk hold. I was having him lift his hips off the ground. You can tell he's really trying to wake up those muscles there to lift his hips off the ground. And then here's the bunny hop. Here's a visual cue as I'm leading them. She was able to do them backwards. And then frog jumps. So they're touching the ground, jumping up as high as they can. So these exercises are going to be a little bit tiring, and that's the point. They're supposed to wake up their bodies and their muscles. Ball squeezes, they're squeezing as hard as they can. Or ball rolls, I'm rolling the ball up and down their body on their arms, their back, their legs. She really liked this one. And then rolling against the wall. So if, say you're at karate and you don't have a ball in your sport, you can have them roll against the wall, trying to remain as much contact with their body against the wall. And then these are just some at-home heavy work activities that parents ask for any extra ones. Or say you're at soccer and you want to do a relay race, that's totally fine as well. These are just some other good ideas for heavy work. And then thank you to these awesome Kinetic kids for helping me out with my video. But as in summary, as OTs, we look at a lot with sensory regulation and integration because it can hinder someone's ability to participate in their activities of daily living. So by engaging in heavy work activities, we receive sensory input that helps us feel grounded, focused, and organized. It can have a calming and regulating effect on our bodies, helps us feel more in control and better able to handle sensory challenges in our environment. So thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to reach out with any questions.